Hey guys, welcome back to Karting with Chris. Today's video is going to be the Summer 3 pre-final race here at Lone Star Kartpark. So we're going to start out with some qualifying here. You see me letting go of the steering wheel just to see if the kart will go in a straight line. It doesn't. And then going through this left-hander, someone rams into the back of me, not using their brakes. And so I give them the hand, showing them just how frustrated I am. But like I showed earlier, I let go of the steering wheel. The kart pulls very hard to the right. So much that, like, down the straight here, you can see I'm having to turn the steering wheel to the left just to get to go into a straight line. So opening stages of this qualifying, not very good. I felt kart number 10, this is the kart I'm in right now, kart number 10, had decent top end. You can see kart number 11 up ahead. I am kind of catching him going through these next couple of corners up ahead, but we're going to see down the main straight here just how much I have to turn the steering wheel. I mean, we're going to pause the video right here. You shouldn't be going down the straight having to turn the steering wheel this much. I mean, that's a little ridiculous. So at this point in the race, not very happy with the kart I have. At this point, whenever you go to Lone Star, all the karts are pretty bad, but this one's genuinely almost undrivable. Through the left-handers, very difficult. You see this guy sends it up the inside on me. Again, through the left-handers, it just won't turn. I have to brake so early for these corners just to get it to turn. And so I'm dropping down the order here. Through these right-handers, like this double right-hander, beautiful. Hugs it around the corner just perfectly. So, you know, if we were doing backwards NASCAR, then yeah, this would be the best kart to have, but we're not. So after the end of this second lap here, I'm going to go into the pits. I feel like this kart is undrivable and kind of dangerous, so not happy with it. So I'm going to swap out my kart for a better one. So this is going to be probably the slowest pit stop ever recorded here. So I tell the guy, this thing's a piece of crap, get rid of it. And so I hop out of kart 10, take my seat insert, put it into kart number 7 here. The reason I have a seat insert is because these karts have massive seats, and so you get thrown around in them, so it's nice to have some extra padding. Try and move my seat back here, got a little stuck, but eventually pushing it all the way back. I am a very tall person, so I have to have the seat all the way back. Accidentally got my seatbelt caught, so the lady here helps me. She accidentally bangs into my GoPro, so smudging it a little. But we click our seatbelt in, and we're good to go. So coming out of the pits here, we're going to see kart number 15. We're going to point him by. No point in holding him up. I don't even know if this kart's good or not. But we did go into the pits behind kart 15, so we've lost a total of 1 lap here. Which isn't too terrible, but qualifying really isn't that long, so every lap does count. But we're just trying to figure out if we've got a good kart. Obviously, it's going to be better than 10 because it doesn't pull hard right down the straights here. But we just got to see if it's worth trying to pass kart number 15 here, because we don't want to be caught in a battle. And straight away, I figure out that kart number 7 is pretty good. Not only does it drive in a straight line, but the top end is also pretty decent. So going down the straight here, I'm going to poke my nose through kart 15. He kind of just lets me by. Again, it's qualifying, so people don't really fight you too much, or at least they shouldn't fight you too much. Now you can see we have clean open track in front of us. Now the results of this qualifying session didn't really matter to me because for the pre-final, I was going to elect to start in last because it makes for better content, a little more interesting when you start in the back. So none of this really mattered because I was just going to start in last anyways, but it's good to have some practice, especially since I haven't been here in a couple months. Refamiliarize myself with the track. The track's actually a very easy track to learn. It's really the karts you got to figure out because all of the karts are different. You know, sometimes you have a kart that pulls really hard to the right, another kart you have that just doesn't turn at all. So you just got to relearn these karts. They are pieces of junk, but you know, it's just something you got to figure out. So the rest of this qualifying session, I was just by myself. It was a little boring. So here are the results for the end of qualifying here. And as you can see, I got pole position. And it wasn't by a little bit too. It was by 7/10. So kart number 7, pretty good kart. I'm happy with that. But, you know, like I said, I was going to start last anyways. So starting on pole or getting pole really didn't matter to me. So we move on to the pre-final. This is the beginning of the warm-up lap. And kart 22 on my left here, he tells me he wants to work together. So I give him a thumbs up. Normally, I wouldn't give him a thumbs up. I don't know who this is. I don't know what his driving skill is. He might be good, and it might be beneficial to work together with him, but normally, I usually say no if I don't know who they are. But the reason I gave him a thumbs up is because Kart 22 is the fastest kart of this entire race. Like, kart number 7, the kart I had in the qualifying session, looks slow compared to kart number 22. So if he wants to push me down the straights, I'm all for it. So we skip ahead to the end of this formation lap, and let me tell you, the formation laps around here take forever, so I'm doing you a favor. And we're starting in 14th out of 15. Now, I specifically requested to start dead last, but we're starting second to last for this pre-final, so I guess that's good enough. My strategy going into this race is just to go around the outside. Everyone tends to pile on the inside for this race, so just go around the outside, pass everyone there. Flagman waves green, we're good to go, and like I said, everyone's going towards that inside line. We move up about 3 positions on the start alone. Going to this left-hander up ahead, people just outbrake themselves. The chaos and carnage begins. We move up into 10th place, avoiding a good majority of that chaos. Behind kart number 2 here, he's going defensive through this left-hander. Through this double right-hander, he's going to take a very narrow line. I'm going to try and get a better exit than him. You see, I accidentally hopped the curb there. That's going to ruin my momentum. And so we slide in behind him, and we're in 10th place. I mean, that's pretty good. We started in 14th, gaining 4 positions. Not too bad. Could have been worse. And now we just got to try and pick people off one by one. So by this point of the race, I've already figured out that I've got basically an average-paced kart. I'm in kart number 11 here. Through the corners, pretty average. Down the straights, you can see 2. I think that was another averagely paced kart. So, not gaining or losing to them. So, not upset with this kart. Going through the left-hander, 2 leaves the door open. Someone spinning it on the apex, and then a third person off to the left there. I don't know if you quite saw it. Just deciding not to turn into the right-hander. I guess you can do that, but we move up into 7th place now. We gained 3 positions there, so hey, I'm not going to complain. We've got kart 22 behind us. He's pushing us through these corners, so he's going to make us look a lot faster than we actually are. And honestly, if I was kart number 22, I would have just passed me because I'm in a much slower kart. I'm just going to hold him up. But if he wants to push me, I'm all for it. So going down the straight here, you can see the gap to the next kart in front. Pretty decent, right? And then by the end of the straight, you can see I'm just reeling him in so much. And that's because 22 is pushing me. That's how much faster that kart is. And then going into this left-hander, bit of a late move, but the guy left the room, so we went up the inside. We're up into 6th place now, so 22 definitely helping us out. Whenever someone is pushing you, you can't make mistakes, or else they're just going to stop pushing you. They're just going to decide to go around you. So a little bit of pressure, but nothing I can't handle. So the next kart in front, I believe that's kart number 17. He's fairly far ahead. Through these corners here, kart 22 is really not pushing me. It's just mainly out of that last left-hander back there, and then down these couple of corners. This is all full throttle, so this is the best spot to push someone. And so down this main straight here, you can see how quickly we're going to catch up to kart number 17 here. Again, my kart should not be faster than kart number 17, but going to this left-hander, again, leaves the door open, send it up the inside, and we're up into 5th place. So at this point, we can't even see the top 4 karts in front of us. That's because they all had some pretty decent karts. They're all faster than my kart, at least my kart on its own. If 22 continues to push me, maybe we could catch up to the top 4, especially if they start to battle towards the end. We could probably catch up to them, but if 22's smart, he'll just pass me. I've already worked my way through the pack and kind of helped him through that way. But he doesn't need me anymore. At this point, I'm just slowing him down. And so I think he realizes this. So going down the straight here, he's going to go for the move through the first corner. I'm not going to fight it. There's no point in fighting it. His kart is way faster than mine. I'm just going to slow myself down. No matter how much defending I do, he's still going to get around me. And unfortunately, that's rental racing. There's always going to be that one kart that's faster than everyone else. But you just got to drive what you got and just try and do the best of your abilities. But we go down into 6th place now, and really the only way we're going to gain any more positions in this race is if the people in front of us just wipe each other out, because there's no one behind me. I was faster than everyone behind me, and everyone in front of me was faster than me. So at this point, I'm just hoping for some chaos and carnage. So unfortunately, nothing happened for the rest of this race. We're on lap 10 of 10. We've caught up to kart 10, and this is the kart we had in qualifying. It's an absolute piece of junk. I'm surprised they did not pull it from the race, but they gave it to this poor soul. This is a back marker here, not for position. And so I decided to send it up the inside through this left-hander right here. That was one hell of a dive bomb. I do apologize to whoever was in kart 10, but hey, you gotta do it. So we're gonna finish this race in 6th place, or so I thought, because actually, at the end of this race, when we came into the pits, they informed us that the computer broke. It didn't work, so it didn't calculate any of our lap times or any of the positions we gained. So no one knows what place they ended up in, and they didn't want to go by the honor system. I don't know why it took them 10 laps to figure out that it wasn't working. So yeah, when we came into the pits, they said we had to do it again. So we skip ahead to the end of the formation lap of the second pre-final now. And for some of you guys who like to be a little more optimistic, we did not pay for a second pre-final, so we're getting a free race out of all this. But we're all very tired because this track is very physically demanding because of the bumpiness of this track. And we're going down the straight here, and the flagman tells us to do another formation lap because the computer is still not working. So not only do we get another pre-final, but we also get another formation lap. So those of you who love formation laps and just cannot get enough formation laps, here you go. We're getting another one. Now, we actually ended up doing 3 formation laps, and that took forever. That was terrible, but this was the final formation lap here. We're starting 15 out of 15. We're going to do exactly what we did in the first pre-final. Try and get a little slingshot effect here, go around the outside. So flagman waves green, we're good to go. And basically the same thing happens as what happened in the first pre-final. We gain about 4 or 5 positions, going to this left-hander up ahead. People outbrake themselves, and we're up into 9th place. Now for this second pre-final, we all are in the same karts as we started in the first pre-final. So I was in kart 11 for the first pre-final. I'm still in kart number 11. So everyone who was in a slow kart was kind of complaining because they didn't want to be in that slow kart. But everyone who's in the fast kart, they get a chance to try and go for the lead again. And so I still have kart 22 behind us. This is basically a recreation of the first pre-final here. And so going down these next couple of corners here, kart 22 is pushing us. It's going to allow us to pass kart number 20 going through this last corner up ahead. And hopefully 22 pushes us throughout the rest of the race like he did the first time, but I think he realized pretty quickly that I was just holding him up. So going through this left-hander, he's going to send it up the inside. I'm not going to fight it. My race is not with him. He's going to pull away from everyone, so there's no point in fighting him. And I just got to hope that he slows down the people in front of him and allows me to try and pass them. So going through the double right-hander, kart 22 gets ahead of kart number 7. That's the kart we had in qualifying. We qualified on pole in that kart, so we know that's a good kart, so it might be hard to pass him. As going through this left-hander right here, he goes really wide. Poke my nose through these next couple of corners. A little bit of door banging through these last couple of corners here. We move up into 7th place, but like I said, kart number 7, pretty good in a straight line. And so going through this first corner, he's just going to sail by me like I'm sitting still. There's not a lot I can do about that. Going to this left-hander up ahead, I think he goes defensive, and he just goes crazy wide. And so we retake position 7 here. Going through this second left-hander, I'm going to go slightly defensive. Don't want him going for the instant reply. And so through the corners, my kart was pretty decent. Like I said, it's average. And when you have an average pace kart, through the corners, you're basically going to keep up with the good karts. It's just on the straights is where you're going to start to notice your kart fall off. So through these corners, going to try and pull away from kart number 7 here and try and catch up to the next kart in front. So we're going to skip ahead to the end of lap 5, start of lap 6. It took us a while to catch up to the next kart in front, but we finally have caught up to kart number 17. He's within striking range. Cart number 7 is still behind us. I don't know what happened with him. He was just staying behind us, not really pushing me or doing anything. We just kept him at bay. So going through this left-hander right here, we send it up the inside of cart number 17. It's a bit of a late move, but he just opened up the door, so might as well go for it. Move up into 6th place now. We still had cart number 7 follow me through, so we still have him behind me. And the next cart in front is my friend Fid. We're going to try and catch up to him as we see someone off in the barriers over here. Don't know what that guy was doing. I guess he was the barrier inspector, making sure all the barriers are in tip-top shape. But that was not for position, so don't have to worry about that guy. The next cart in front is for position. Like I said, that's my friend Fid. He did not have a very good cart, so we are going to catch up to him. Not very quickly. He is a pretty good driver, so a pretty good driver will take a little longer to catch up with, even if they do have a bad cart. But you can see we are gaining on him, and hopefully we can pass him cleanly and not have cart number 7 pass me. So Fid is in cart number 19, for those of you wondering, and 19 was not very good in a straight line. I was noticing through the corners he was able to, maintain a gap, and coming out of the corners, not too bad, but down the straights, he just didn't have any top end. So we're about to go into the main straight here, and you're going to see me catch up to him, and not by a little, by a large amount. And my cart is an averagely paced cart, so my cart doesn't even have the best top end. So Fid just working with what he's got here. Going through this left-hander up ahead, I'm going to poke my nose through, try and go for the move. He turns in a little early here, kind of just going a little defensive. That's perfectly fine. Going through the second left-hander, going to try and go for the move, but there's a yellow flag at the last second. Not allowed to pass under yellow. And so going through the double right-hander here, cart number 7 is going to poke his nose through because I got such poor momentum from the yellow flag. So we're going to drop down into 7th place here, losing a position to cart number 7. And so now we're just going to try and see what cart number 7 can do. Like I said, that cart pretty good in a straight line, so he should be able to pass Fid pretty easily. So coming out of these last couple of corners, they're going to go side by side, and cart number 7 actually pushes them wide into the barriers. Fid obviously not very happy about that. Cart 24 passes us. This cart was one of the fastest carts here, and he was actually unlapping himself. So I don't know why he was down on the laps, but he was unlapping himself, not for position. Up ahead there's another back marker, 24 and 7, going side by side, really slowing down there. It's causing my momentum to decrease yet again, and Fid passes us, and we're back down to 7th place. So we're really struggling here to maintain a position. It seems like we're always going down to 7th place. We're running out of laps here. We're actually on the second to last lap, about to start the last lap. And if we want to beat what we did in the first pre-final, we got to beat 6th place. So we can see 5th place up ahead, but cart 7, that's going to be a hard cart to pass. Going down the straight here, we see the flagman wave, one more lap to go, so we're on the final lap. We're going to go for the inside move on Fid through the first corner here. And then through this left-hander, going to go defensive. Don't want him sending it up the inside because I know he will. And then through the second left-hander, I look behind me. Didn't think he was going to be close enough to go for it through this second left-hander. So we're up into 6th place now. Like I said, Fid didn't have the best cart in the world, so we're going to pull away from him. Cart number 7 is the next cart in front. That's for position, but unfortunately, he's too far ahead. We're rounding out the last couple of corners here. We don't have any more laps left in this race, so we're going to finish this pre-final in 6th place. It's where we finished the first pre-final in, so at least we're consistent. So we started in 15th, jumped up into 6th. That's a net gain of 9. I'll take it. Didn't have the fastest cart in the world, so it would be hard to go up any further. But yeah, overall, pretty pleased with that race. A little upset that we had to do it twice, but hey, we finished in the same position, so it didn't matter at the end. But that's all I'm going to have for today. Here are the lap times for those of you wondering what they were. I know some of you guys like to know what kind of lap times are being set around here, so here are the lap times. But that's all I'm going to have for today. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing. If you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, please do comment below. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.